Well, this weekend we will have a crowd, 70,000 of them. A large part of that will be obviously American and Mexican. Um, so yeah, Billy Joe goes to the Lions Den in Texas this Saturday night. What happens in your opinion, Gareth?
I think it's a fantastic chess match. It's the bull against the matador, and Saul Canelo Alvarez for me is the bull. He's shown great nous in his recent performance. I mean, obviously Yildirim was a null fight in lots of ways because there was very little challenge. He looked very good against Callum Smith. He's looked better and better and better. Has Canelo. Billy Joe Saunders, for me, can give him the biggest struggle of his career, technically. But I think, again, Billy's got to pop him hard with combinations and move. He's got to time him and dance. He's got to be a ghost in that ring at times. He's got to do all the things he said he's going to do to those of us who have interviewed him in depth and got to be around him. You know, the last time I saw him was about a month ago now, but he was in phenomenal form, mentally, physically, psychologically. I'm a bit concerned about the mind games that are going on with the size of the ring and all those kind of things. That those are the unexpected things that a fighter doesn't want to deal with in fight week. I wonder how he's handling that. I'm sure they'll get to the end of that. And it reminds me, you know, of being in Dusseldorf with Tyson Fury in 2015, where on the afternoon of the fight, Peter Fury and the Fury family were there saying, no, the cushioning under the ring is too thick, and it will stop Tyson's. It's just too thick, and they got it changed. They said we're walking away, you know. And I think you might even get that from I'm not up to date on all the
No,
things today.
I'll just update you on that. Tommy Saunders, his dad, and also Mark Tibbs, obviously head coach, have said they will walk away if
Yeah,
the ring doesn't change. Yeah,
it's not it's not a comparison with, for example, Derek Chisora saying he'll walk away if he couldn't walk in second on Saturday night in Manchester. They mean it. They are not going to be. That's the traveller mentality. They're not. Then they want a fair fight, and I think, you know, they deserve a bigger ring. It'll make for a better fight with a bigger ring. I don't think Canelo should be able to control the controllables in that way. Whether it's in the contract or not, I don't know. I haven't seen the contract. But I imagine that anyone that looked at that contract and saw a 20-foot ring would have had alarm bells ringing anyway, because, you know, Billy Joe Saunders needs the space to work in. It's how he fights. So, and he needs that for his game plan, undoubtedly. So I do hope we do get a resolution. I can't believe with DAZN, you know, wanting the fight to go ahead. It's a big deal for them. Eddie Hearn, big deal for him with him now promoting Saul Canelo Alvarez, that they're not going to find a resolution to this. Where are we? Tuesday. I imagine this has got to be resolved by the end of Wednesday, for this fight to go ahead, because they will walk away. I know what they're like. They will. Billy Joe Saunders will go, fine, I won't do it then. He don't care about taking the flack from people. They will want the ring that they say is fair for the fight. So I back them on that. I back Billy Joe in this contest from what I've seen of him. I think he gave me the greatest interview I could have ever asked of him when I went out to interview him for Off the Cuff. It's on the DAZN platform at the moment. It's an extraordinary interview. Billy says that if he knew that he could sign a contract to win on Saturday night, he would kiss everyone goodbye, and it would be the end of his life. If it had to be the end of his life, he had to die in there to beat Canelo, he'd be prepared to do it. It's about legacy for him, this fight. And I think it'll go ahead anyway on Saturday night. I think they'll sort it out. But, you know, I just hope that he doesn't buckle at all mentally, and he goes in there and he gives the greatest account of himself that he could ever give, and he will go out on his shield. It's a very tough fight, but I think he can do it at his very best.
I think if anyone half remotely knows Billy Joe, they know he won't buckle. under this. He won't buckle under anything. You'll know that, Gareth.
Absolutely. He's a fighting man through and through. He's a win at all costs guy. He's someone who doesn't have, I've never seen or thought or believed that he has any quit in him whatsoever, but he's never been in with this level of opponent either, in my view. So it's the biggest challenge of his life, and it's fascinating because he is so skilled, and he's going to have those fibers moving in his body because he's probably going to be hit harder and maybe more than anyone's ever hit him as well. So it's an amazing contest to see. It's one that I've waited for years, and I've been looking forward to. And it's one that Billy has always said there were two guys when he was coming through, he knew he was going to fight, and that was David Lemieux, and we knew he was brilliant. We know he was brilliant against him that night, and all of that, and Canelo. And obviously Golovkin later, because he wants to fight Golovkin at some point as well, which is another amazing fight. So this is a date with destiny. And it's time for him to write his own destiny and write his own legacy now on Saturday night in Arlington, Texas, in front of, what was it, 69,998 or 88 screaming Mexicans, and probably 12 supporters for Billy Joe Saunders. It's such a shame we can't travel. It's one of the most disappointing things as well. But these are times when we're not allowed to travel, so we do what we can.
Okay, Gareth Davies, appreciate your time on IFL TV as always, and obviously goes without saying we'll have a catch up on Sunday or Monday after Canelo Saunders. All right.
Lovely, always a pleasure.
Top man, thank you. Bye-bye.